courtship is this purpose-driven relationship with the goal of getting married. Okay, let's just say that to simplify. Now, my question for you guys is, what should you do during courtship? What is the main thing that we should do during courtship? For the people that are right now watching, they have no idea what it is. They have no idea what should happen there. What is the one thing or the few things that you should do during that time for you guys?
Pastor, I think that we need to look to purpose. We need to be accountable, and we need to be pure. Really, really, really strive for being pure, right? I never kissed my wife until we got to the altar, and this is something that she wanted to do. I know that sometimes it could be hard, but really, really keeping that purity, it's one of the pillars. These are the three pillars, I think: accountability, purpose, and purity. And one of the reasons that I actually went into a relationship with Brittany was because I knew who she was, who she wanted to be. She wanted to be a pastor, and I have the calling to be a pastor. And this is why I believe that one of the reasons why my relationship thrive and flourish. So those two things.
I would probably agree. I agree 100% with what he said, but the thing that actually stands out for me would be the accountability part, because I don't believe in this like living life by yourself or even relationship by yourself without people that surround you and will actually see how you pretty much act in your relationship. So the accountability side that we develop in our church, that would be discipleship and actually being accountable. Be like, Pastor, I'm passing through this, or the girl goes to her pastor and be like, I'm passing through this, or this is how the man is acting with me, and having people that actually listen to your relationship. They can actually come to you and be like, hey, I think you're in the wrong direction. Let's just, go back to the right direction. And then they're actually going to speak into your life. So I believe the accountability, purity is awesome as well. But the accountability is the one that actually will bring you to purity and all the other aspects. This is how I saw in my relationship. Like, as you go to your pastor, he's going to tell you what you need to do to pretty much have your relationship safe. That's what I would say. So
that's awesome. I can tell by my my life, when I met my wife, I was 28, 29. So before that, I had other relationships that wasn't in the court way. I was in a church that we never had that before. So when I went to my church in Brazil, they had the court system in the church. So, and I was part of a life group, and I had my leader. He was single, so he used to, talk in my life. I used to sit with him once in a while, and he knew my past. I had not a crazy past, but I had some relationship that didn't work because I started the wrong way. I never had that kind of a thing that I'm just gonna kiss my wife, in the wedding day or whatever, in the altar right there. I never had that. So when I met my wife, I was in this church already, and then those guys, my friends from my life group, because we were going to this life group only men. So and everybody in the church, they used to start the court first. He's praying for 3 months first, and then start court, And then when I saw those guys doing that, I said, man, this is awesome. This is good, because my main thing during my other relationship was keep, pure, or, holy, or try to have some healthy relationship, especially with God. And it never happened because I was always trying to do things on my own, my own efforts, try to overcome sin or whatever. So since I start having this vision of this court thing, I was like, man, this is what I want. This is what I want for my relationship. When I meet the right person, the girl that I think God has for me, I'm going to start doing that. So that's when I met my wife, and I was going to this church, but she wasn't from this church. And I told her, listen, if you want to date, you have to come to my church and go to this encounter camp for 3 days. So it's an encounter with God, and God will change your life first. Once you understand, what's the meaning of having Jesus in your life and the relationship and everything. And believe it or not, she came a different person. I couldn't believe when she got back from this camp, from this encounter with God, she came totally different. And one thing I saw in my wife was her heart was very pure, from to love Jesus, and she learned. She's kind of born again,
wow,
new baby, Yeah. So and she always had this kind of like pure heart for Jesus, and she's like this since we got married.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that God was really good with me, because after many years doing wrong choices, God gave me one chance to make the right choice.
Amen.
So when I start court with my wife, we had our leaders then. Then there was a couple that used to disciple me and her, so we used to sit together, and and that was the most important thing for me. So during the court, we made a deal. We cannot go to bed before pray together. So she was in her house, I was in my house, and before we sleep, we have to call each other and pray. So every night, even if like maybe during the day some little fight or discussion, whatever, we used to pray together at night, and everything was like peace again. Yeah. So that helped me a lot, praying, even like before and during, we always used to pray together. So like nowadays, we still pray every day together, but that was the thing that helped me a lot. So I had the Tiago before and after. So so I think court is very important for. I think every church should adopt this kind of